Okay. So first, I like Doritos and pickles together. Um, I have traveled to half of the states in America,
Okay.
and I have broken 5 bones.
Okay. Oh my god. All right, so I'm kind of thrown off for a loop. Okay, so we got broken 5 bones. I believe that. Tree so fragile. I believe it. 5 bones. Half the states. So you've been to half the states in the United States. Okay, so
Mhm.
half the states. Then we got the first one was you like pickles and Doritos together. That's disgusting. That
Yeah, that's good. I promise.
is disgusting. Okay, so look, I already know what's the lie. So pickles and Doritos, you like nasty stuff like that. So I'm not even gonna put that past you. The last one, breaking bones.
Play me some pimpin', man.
This the coldest podcast you'll ever hear. The way we coming with it, people witnessing greatness. Be a part of the journey. I would say it's perfect timing, but it's God's timing. We locked in a time capsule with this one. We got timeless topics. Guess what? I'm your mother's favorite host. Your little brother's OG. I go by the name of Armand Lindsay, but the neighborhood call me Big P. I want to welcome y'all to Big Boss Talk, Season 2, The Rebirth. Let's ride, and welcome to a Black Man Thing.
Yo, what's poppin', man? Listen, we back with another episode of Big Boss Talk, the podcast. Man, like I tell everybody, I got great guests. This guest right here is personal. It's crazy when I think about how long we've known each other, because, like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I know her since I was like 16. Yeah, like around 16 years old up until now. So it's just like I know her for almost 10 plus years. And she's my wife's best friend, but I kind of got adopted in as like a little brother. She's like a big sister to me, but man, she's doing great things. I always look at her and her family, and I kind of just try to aspire to have something similar. You know what I'm saying? Because they do a great job with raising their 2 kids and just having a family, and I really enjoy what they got going on, and they work super extremely hard, and they try to do the best thing for their family every single day. And I admire that. I admire it to the fullest. I may not say it a lot. I know we got this group chat, and I'm not always active in the group chat, but I'm there, but I'm not there. And so it's just like when I'm listening and and I'm watching, I can just see just the ambition that those two got, her and her husband have, just to continue to be great, continue to do great things, and provide a very healthy, safe environment for their family. So I have no other than Treneshia Milton. Treneshia, say what's up to the podcast.
Hey, everybody.
Yep. So listen, Treneshia, we're gonna try to get Treneshia to talk about her life today. She's not shy, trust me. I'm just trying to get her out of her comfort zone. But I'm gonna give y'all a rundown, right? So Treneshia, she's 29. Her career right now, she's associate operations manager. She got her college degree in BS in exercise science from the University of South Carolina. Years in her profession, healthcare for 5 years. 3 months in her current position. So we got a promotion that we don't have to talk about. Congratulations on that. And then, that's pretty much it. But Tree, you know how we got to do it. We're going to start with 2 truths and a lie. I've known you for 10 plus years, so I don't know if it's going to be difficult, hard for you to maybe try to get me off my toes, but we're going to see. So I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay. So first, I like Doritos and pickles together. Um, I have traveled to half of the states in America,
Okay.
and I have broken 5 bones.
Oh my God. All right, so I'm kind of thrown off for a loop. Okay, so we got broken 5 bones. I believe that. Tree so fragile. I believe it. 5 bones. Half the states. So you've been to half the states in the United States. Okay, so
Mhm.
half the states. Then Then we got the first one was you like pickles and Doritos together. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's good. I promise.
That is disgusting. Okay, so look, I already know what's the lie. So pickles and Doritos, you like nasty stuff like that. So I'm not even gonna put that past you. The last one, breaking bones. You like I said, you're a little clumsy, so I'm gonna put breaking bones. Half the states, I'm pretty sure y'all close. Y'all might be close, but half we talking about. I don't think it's half, so I'm gonna say that's the lie.
Okay, you got me. Yeah. You got me. Bro, it's probably been like 10, but not half.
Bro, it's been. I'm getting too good at this, man. But
I was hoping you would get it wrong too.
But nah, that's what's up. So why you like pickles and Doritos together?
I honestly don't even know. Like, I remember sitting on the couch at my parents' house one day when I was in high school, and I just put them together, and I was just like, wow, this tastes good. And ever since then, I've been rolling with it. I don't know why I tried it. I don't know, like, how that even got in my head.
That's disgusting.
Maybe I was bored.
You eat washing powders, don't you?
No, I don't.
One of them, you mixing Doritos and pickles together.
No, I don't do that.
Nah, I'm just playing. But that is a nasty combination. But okay, cool. So, and then you broken 5 bones. What bones you done broke?
I broke 2 of my fingers, my thumb. I cracked my heel, so I had a hairline fracture, and I broke a toe.
Oh wow!
I mean, and then I got a concussion. I just,
How you break your fingers? That's what I really want to know. Was it cheer?
Yeah. Well, I broke my thumb. Why don't you ask your wife how I broke my thumb?
Oh my God! What happened? I ain't got this story.
Okay, so when we were I was in 5th grade. Mine had to be like 3rd.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And we were playing Cheetah Girls, and I wanted to be Raven.
Oh my God. Okay.
They wouldn't let me be Raven. And it was her and this other girl.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, I'm not going to play with y'all because, I mean, come on, I'm still. I was like, I'm not going to play with y'all. So I sat on this table and like crossed my arms, and they was like, no, come on and play Treneshia. So then they pulled me off the table, and like I tried to catch myself.
Yeah.
And I landed on my thumb, and I broke my thumb.
Oh my God.
I still need to sue her for that. So now that she's married, I'm like,
no. You should have been did that. Don't try to sue because now we joined together. I ain't got nothing for you. But that's such you fashion for you to want to be Raven and you don't get to play Raven. You like, I'm out. Bump this.
I gotta be the star. I gotta be the Beyonce of the group.
Nah, hey, listen. Everybody need to be Beyonce. Every now and again in their life, so you deserved it, but you definitely need to talk to about those reparations though. With that thumb. Okay, cool. So then, I know you just started your position. You've been in it for 3 months. Tell me how that's been going. How's the new position and what they got you doing over there?
It's been a whirlwind. It's completely different from my last job. Mm-hmm. So with this new role, the associate operations manager role, mm-hmm. So basically I am supervising 2 direct reports under me, but it also entails, things with CVS, Accordant. That's who I work for. Accordant is a subset of CVS. It's like the nurse care management side. Right. So what we do is we support a program called Pharmacy Advisor. Okay. And long story short, that program really tries to manage patients and their adherence to medication. Okay. So if you aren't familiar with healthcare, what we try to do is basically get patients to take their medication and take it correctly because that drives down the cost for insurance, pharmacies, but it also improves the patient's quality of life. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm basically analyzing data all day, making sure that all of the entities and the processes that we have in place are good to go. Mm-hmm. And then if we do have any issues in that process, just trying to pinpoint that issue and basically communicate to whom it needs to be communicated to because we have so many different applications, vendors, different teams that are integrated in the process. Sometimes it's hard to try to figure out who to go to next to fix the issue at hand. So it's been we've kind of been thrown to the wolves because they're so busy and the complete team is so new.
Yeah.
We've kind of just been thrown in to kind of learn everything ourselves. So I definitely say it's been different, but I love it. I love the challenge.
Got you. Okay. So I mean, when I think about when you hear explain, I say that sounds very hard to me, right? I'm not in the healthcare profession. With this new position, do you feel like you could have? Is it something where you need some type of experience before going into this role, or do they teach you everything at the office? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes there's positions where they tell you need X amount of experience, but they teach you everything on the job. So it's like, you know, you can pick up, you know, somebody and say, okay, as long as you got a generic, you know, background in this, we could teach you everything else. Is that kind of what happened, or do you feel like this job could have been something that you could have done fresh out of college?
I'm going to give you my honest opinion.
Okay.
When I first started the position, they said that they would teach you everything that you needed to know. Mm-hmm. That includes about healthcare, about pharmacy benefit managers, right. PBMs, if you've ever heard of that, and just about the position itself. However, personally, I think coming in, you definitely need to have some type of healthcare background. Maybe not degree, but I would definitely say background. Yes. Because that would help. Because when you go into these positions, you know, especially it being the beginning of the year for my particular company, this is the time that they're ramping up. This is one of our busiest times. So training, I would say, has kind of taken a backseat because they are trying to put out different fires. Everybody's running around. So we've just kind of been thrown in. If I didn't come in with the knowledge that I know, I would definitely say I would definitely be struggling. Okay. Some degrees, I would definitely say you should have a college degree. Okay. And that's a requirement for the job. But also outside of a college degree, I really think that some type of certification in leadership would be super helpful. Whether that's certification you take with your current job. I know a lot of jobs do offer the modules that you take or the learn and lunches, so that way you can learn different leadership positions. Or if you actually went the full route and took the 6 Lean Sigma certification. Right. But I definitely think leadership, some type of additional training in that would be super helpful because everybody doesn't learn the same. I'm managing 2 other people right now. And as we go on, they'll definitely add more people. Mm-hmm. So you really have to learn different communication styles, how you can communicate, what can and you cannot do. Right. Another thing I would say is one thing that they did not tell me is that I would need to know SQL. Okay. So I know we've been in the group chat talking about.
Tell us about that. What is you said SQL? Did you say SQL?
SQL. So it's standard query language. Okay. It's more IT realm. And again, I come from healthcare, straight healthcare. All the systems that we had in my previous job were already set for us. If we had any additional questions or issues, we just simply took it to IT and they figured it out. But now I am the liaison between the business side and IT. I'm the person in the middle trying to figure out what's going on and trying to communicate to IT what exactly we need. Mm-hmm. But in order to do that, there are some terms and also code queries that I would need to know in order for them to do their job properly. Okay. So my biggest issue right now is that we're relying on one person to kind of give us that information to take back to IT to fix the issue. And I want to be that person. Like, we don't need to know, full out coding and I'm writing a web page or anything or building an application or any dashboards. Mm-hmm. But just knowing that standardized like the, commands and being able to write simple queries in order to give IT the information they need for us to do our job properly and for also them to do their job properly is super important. I'm actually earning a certificate right now.
Ooh, I was about to ask you that. I was about to say, I remember we talked about your New Year's goal. Well, your new 2022 goals, and you was like, I'm trying to get certified in, I guess, coding. So I was going to ask you, how has that been going? Like, has it been hard? Has it been, kind of just you taking your time and going a little bit by a little bit? How's everything been going with getting that certification?
So I'm just going little bit by little bit, like you said. It's been different. It's like I said, I can talk to you all day about healthcare. We could talk about biopharmaceuticals. We could talk about insurance. We could talk about pharmacy. But when they start talking about that sequel, I'm like, say what now? But the thing about it, I've been complaining about it, as you've seen in the group message, but I think it's super helpful because it gets me out of my comfort zone that I do need to learn that. And because healthcare is going toward business analytics, that data to support where healthcare is going and what needs to be done in healthcare, I definitely need to know that. So if not now, it would have been in the future that I would have needed to know it anyways. Correct. So I've been doing the certification, doing the classes, and actually this weekend I actually got in touch with my husband, one of his friends. Okay. They actually just went through a certification, and that is their job. So they're going to actually get with me and kind of go over the information, see if I'm picking it up correctly. Yeah. But it's been different, and honestly, I had an aha moment yesterday. Like something that I looked at on that one of the classes I'm taking, I was able to recognize it on my job. So I was in there like, ooh, I know what I'm doing with it. Ooh, so
it's good to have those aha moments, and I'm glad you sticking with it and definitely getting that certification, because I know it's hard when you got New Year's goals and life hits you. You know what I'm saying? Life gonna hit you any type of way, but it's always I love seeing people stay persistent with their goals, and that's something that I try to work on myself, because I try to say, like, I want to be disciplined, I want to do this, but then sometimes due to life situations I end up having to fall back into kind of like old habits. But it's like you gotta fight that urge to fall back into those old habits. So I'm super happy for you. I can't wait till you get your certification, because I know that's gonna be a goal that you hit. You have to turn up one time for that one, and do something, because I know with certifications come increase in pay. So we don't never we don't work for free, and we always want to try to advance and want to get paid our worth. So that's going to be awesome. But listen, I want to go back. So we know about the new position, right? Take me back. We're going to start all the way to the beginning. So you went to USC. You're a Carolina Gamecock girl. Go Cox. Look. So what was that decision like to say, yeah, I want to go to USC, and then also, when you made that decision, did you know what you wanted to major in going into college?
Okay, so let's keep it real. I originally wanted to go to Spelman. Okay. That was my dream college. I talked about it. Me and my friends, we all decided, like, one of my friends went to Howard, and the other one had her mindset on Coastal, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to Spelman. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. I actually loved USC. I had did a summer seniors program with them, so I was able to stay at the university for I think it was a week, and able just to live the college life and go over the different courses and programs that they offered. And I loved it, but I still had my heart set on Spelman. And then my mom was like, yeah, I'm not paying that tuition.
Oh, my God.
So she was like, you got to choose a college in state. So that's why I went to the University of South Carolina. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was still one of my top choices. Okay. And I loved the program that I went to. I knew a couple people going there. Yeah. I always wanted to be a dentist. So everybody knows that about me. I wanted to be a dentist. I wanted to, have my own practice. That was my thing. And I've said that probably since I was 5 years old. Right. No lie, 5 years old. And so I actually did a couple of shadow days and internships with a dentist in my area when I was in high school. One of my classmates, his dad was a dentist and owned his own practice. So I was able to do shadow days. And when I went in, I was just like, man, this is so boring. I guess because it was just like routine cleanings and it wasn't anything exciting at the time. Right. But I was just like, I'm going to stick with it because I always said that. And that brings me to another point. You don't have to do what, you have the right to change your mind. But anyways, I was just like, I already told everybody I'm going to be a dentist. So when I went into the University of South Carolina, I declared my major as biology because I knew that was something that I would need in order to take the pre-dental track and also get into dental school.
Yeah.
And then I got to organic chemistry.
Oh. Tell me about
that. When you start crying during a final exam.
Oh my God.
That's how you know it's not good. So I was just like, you know what?
It was over with.
And you had to take 2 organic chemistries, organic chemistry 1 and 2. And this was organic chemistry 1.
Right.
Long story short, I made a D, so I had to take the class over because for that major, you had to make a C or above. Took the class over. I still did not I was just like, is it my brain? Like, I thought I was smart up until this point. Like, I graduated with honors. Like, I had a 4.0 if you would have took that class away. And I was just like, am I stupid? Like, I just don't get it. It's not for me. And so when I realized, like, I may not pass this class again, I went and I was just like, I need to change my major.
Wow. So you did a complete change. So, I mean, this is crazy because I've done the same thing. And it wasn't that I even took a class. It was just more or less like I was going to have to take trigonometry 1 and 2 in the same semester while trying to be an athlete. And I just knew my mind wasn't going to be able to handle that because I wasn't, like, I'm good at math, but when you start adding symbols and all that type of stuff, like, I'm out. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing with organic chemistry. Like, you probably was seeing stuff like, what? This don't make no sense to me.
No sense.
You know what I'm saying? And so I've talked to a lot of different people where they said this one class made them change their whole life goals. It's crazy that a class will make you change your whole life goals and dreams. And so what I will want to ask, do you regret not sticking with it, or do you feel like, nah, this is the right path for me? You know what I'm saying? Because obviously I believe, your journey is your journey. I think you go through everything for a reason. And so I think it's still a blessing no matter, where you wanted to start off, but, and then obviously you still writing the chapters of your book. But do you regret not sticking with organic chemistry, or is it more or less like, no, I'm glad I let organic chem go?
I'm glad I let it go.
Okay.
It's not for me. I couldn't get it. And even the second time around, I had a tutor and I still was just like, I mean, I was getting it, but it wasn't, I'm a perfectionist. So me not getting it I was freaking out.
Right.
So I was just like, no, thank you. Now I will say I've changed my major to exercise science.
Yep.
Partly because almost all the classes I took would transfer over to that major, and I only had to take an additional couple of courses because if you don't know, I switched my major my junior year. So I was almost done with school.
You was out the door.
And that's risky because like automatically that adds on another year. Some people too, depending on what you switch to. So that was one reason why I changed to exercise science. It was under public health. I was able to transfer all my classes and it just worked for me. Do I wish I would have changed to exercise science? Honestly, I wish I would have done something else.
Okay.
I wish I would have done a little bit more research on what I could have changed to, but I just kind of panicked and just changed it.
Gotcha. Okay. And I always ask, this is one of the questions because this is kind of the main reason for why I really wanted to do the podcast, is just to talk about careers really, because I talk to so many people that are like, I wish school set us up for better success. I wish, we had people that stop by to give us details of the actual career, right? Because if I know the grunt work of the career, I can make a judgment call for myself to say, I'm willing to go through this type of work because I enjoy this on the back end. But a lot of people that I talk to, they feel like they were underserved at their school, and some people were served with the right resources. But what resources would have liked in that situation, right? So you was like, organic chem's not for me, and you're making a decision your junior year to say, all right, I got to change a major, so so you could just be happy, so you can get that mental weight off of you and just say, okay, I graduated school. Like, what resources do you wish you had to make a sound decision on the right degree, or do you feel like, it was kind of just you picking a major at that point?
I definitely agree with you that sometimes you don't have the right resources, because let's think about it. Even when we're in elementary, middle, high, you're only seeing 10% of the professions that are in the world. Doctor, lawyer, nurse, the basic professions. So we really don't get the whole realm of all the other professions or careers or roles that are offered.
Right.
To answer your question, at the time that I changed my major, I would have liked maybe someone to kind of go over additional information with me. And what I mean by that is, I actually went to the student services or whatever the organization is where you change your major. And those organizations are run by other college kids. So they really don't have the experience to guide you on where you want to be long term, or even a career or major change, if you want to be honest, because they're maybe 1 or 2 years ahead of you. So who are they to tell you, because they don't have the world experience. Right. I would have liked if I would have went in there and I would have been given or laid out like, okay, these are the classes that you have. Let me show you this particular major, and then maybe an offset of careers that are in line with this major. Yeah. And maybe like 5 choices, something like that. Because when I went into the center to change my major, I was basically asked, okay, what do you want to change it to? There was no other...
No guidance.
No guidance. Yeah. No, okay, well, what is your long-term goal? And let's sit down and do career planning or even college planning from there. Right. I think that it would have been helpful if there were maybe some type of guidance counselors, mentors, people that can come back and kind of assist you with that. I don't think it should have been necessarily students, because, they don't know.
Yeah.
So...
that's a good point. And it's crazy because we go to these advisors and they don't really advise anything. Like, they just, what classes you need to take, what classes you want to take. All right, cool, we'll write it down. And you know what I'm saying? It's no real advising. So, if I had an issue with anything, I would say, why, you get these students advisors, but they don't advise. And, they only know a handful of jobs out there too. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, as society, we should have a program in place for kids that give them a whole plethora of different careers besides your generic careers. And what I mean by that is just, obviously, we could complain all day long and say, we weren't provided the resources. The way America's going to look at it is like, well, you should go out and retrieve those resources, right? This is, capitalism at its best. Like, we ain't going to hand feed. You got to go out there and get it. So it's like, okay, cool, you're not going to feed me the resources, but I think we could, as a society, put together some type of, schooling or some type of program where people that want to be mentors that are, doing different things can provide, some type of, resource, like a submarine biologist. Do you know what a submarine biologist does? You know what I'm saying?
Not the average person, no.
Right, not the average person. So it's like things like that. It's a kid that probably would want to be a submarine biologist, but they have no idea that they can do it, what degree they need to have, what what that process is like. And so I just think it should be some, better. I always like to brainstorm and feel like, okay, what resources, if I was rich, if I had millions of dollars, what resource would I put in place to be able to help kids make a decision, right? So I know you have kids. What do you and your husband plan to do to expose your kids to all different types of careers or opportunities? Because I heard the podcast and they said exposure leads to expansion, right? Once your mind sees something, how far you can go, you can never retract it back to its small state of mind. So what do you guys plan on doing as far as parenting to give your kids a fair chance at knowing like everything that's out there?
That's a good question. And we've talked about that. For us, it's easy because we have friends that are doing different things and big things in their careers. So we're able to kind of, pull in our friends and let them explain to our kids. But also, making sure that we do our research as well and we don't push one thing on them, seeing their interest and maybe showing them different ways or different things that are out there. I know my daughter, she's interested in science right now. She loves science. She loves doing little experiments, mixing up stuff, you know. And so we try to pique her interest. Like we take her to science museums and show her, and a lot of science museums and like little different kid geared things, they show you different career paths that you can take, not just being like a doctor or a dentist. Nothing wrong with that. If she wants to be that, great. Those are great career paths, but just showing you that maybe, you know, you want to be the person, instead of being the pilot, you want to be the person that builds the planes, or the person that, you know, works with the FAA, the person that directs the planes and the paths and, you know, do all that stuff. So, we'll just make sure that we keep doing our research to research different careers and then present those to them as they grow up and they show us their interest.
Yeah, that's super dope. I think that's amazing that you guys have that outlook on, just because there's a lot of parents that force their kids in a certain direction, you know, knowing that's not really their passion or what they really, inspired to do. So I think that's super dope. And then, you know, appreciate your outlook on that. But I want to go into your first job right out of college. How hard was it to get a job in your particular field? Was it not that difficult? Was it hard? Tell me about that, you know, that first job.
You want to know a real story or this little cute story?
We want to know the real.
Okay. When I first graduated college, I was pregnant with Callie, my daughter. So, I mean, I would definitely say it made it twice as hard for me to actually go into my field. But even outside of being pregnant, after I gave birth, because I gave birth not too long after I graduated, just trying to find a job under the exercise science realm without having additional certifications or a master's was so difficult. Because a lot of places, they want you to have that experience, or places that said, you know, oh, you need to have 5 years experience, right, etc. That had a salary that aligned with what I thought I deserved. Right. No, I didn't go out here thinking I should be making $50,000 coming out of college with that particular degree. Right. But at the same time, I don't want to be underpaid. Yeah. So I actually worked at my part-time job a little while, Longhorn. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I was finally able to get a job in healthcare, and it was not the job I wanted. It was at a call center. It was a Blue Cross Blue Shield call center, and it was, I would say, probably the worst job. I would never do that again. Okay. But it did give me a lot of insight into insurance, how it worked, healthcare, and how everything played into, you know, insurance and how, you know, whatever, all that stuff. So I will say it gave me that perspective, and I took my training seriously. Like I really wanted to learn, and I would say that's what piqued my interest in healthcare, because when I had that job, I was actually getting a master's in exercise science. Okay. And once I started learning about healthcare and insurance, I was just like, I don't want to do exercise science anymore. I don't want to pursue the degree. And I was halfway done. And it's crazy because you would think, well, just finish it up. But my heart was not in it. I didn't want to do anything with exercise science. I was just done. Yeah. So I worked at that job for, let's say, 8 months. 8 months. And then I was able to get another job, which is the job that I was at for 5 years before I left to come to the new company and position I'm in now. And with that job, you know that job. Yeah. It's like call center-esque, but it's not, because you're not on the phone 8 hours a day, and every position at that particular job is not on the phone. Yeah. So my first position when I came into the job was on the phone all day, and I hated that because again, I just came from a call center job. However, this job went more into depth into biopharmaceuticals mixed in with insurance. So I was able to bring my knowledge from my little call center.
Before you keep going, people that's listening, right? They hear biopharmaceuticals, and you don't have to go in detail of like your time there. I just want to know biopharmaceuticals, and you said insurance, right? Mm-hmm. What is biopharmaceuticals entail? What does that entail for the people that don't know?
It's pharmaceuticals, but it focuses more on the life pharmaceuticals. So drugs, medicine, like that. For example, one of the medications that I helped with was Prolia, which is for postmenopausal osteoporosis. Okay. So if that gives you any perspective into it, it's just drugs, medicine. Okay, cool. The fancy word.
Got you. So I try to. I look at this as like a highlight of my life. I actually worked with Tree for some time. I was in college for a summer job, and she was working, and I was the janitor, and I would help clean up. You know what I'm saying? But they had a good little what's the food we always talk about? They had
they had everything.
What's
they had different vendors?
Yeah, different vendors, but they had this one particular vendor. It was like the Mexican food, and it was
salsaritas.
Yeah, salsaritas. So we used to kill like I used to see Tree on Wednesdays with the salsaritas. I'd be like, "What's up, Tree?" She'd be like, "What's up?" Then I had to go back to my closet. She was too popular at her job. She had friends and all that. I was like, she don't know me, so don't even worry about it. But
I spoke to you every time.
Yeah, you did. I ain't gonna say you didn't, but Tree had a little clique up there at work. So, but that's cool. So we talk about that. Now I want to talk about. So we talk about you went from one career dealing with biopharmaceuticals, and now you got your new job where you're more in a managerial role. You also taking on more things. With the career that you've taken so far, I want to ask, is it a passion, or do you feel like your passion is still out there, right? And some people, you can work and make money, right? That's your meat and potatoes, but then you can have a passion on the side that you really enjoy. And there's nothing wrong with that. You don't always have to have your passion as your main source of income. You can have your meat and potatoes where, okay, this is where I know I just get a check from, but then I'm also passionate about this on the side. Is that, what's your situation? Are you passionate about your career, or do you still have dreams and admirations of doing something else? Like, talk to us, when you at night in your own bed and you thinking like, if I could do this, like this is what I would do. Like give us the rundown on what what's real.
Yes. So I think this is the career path I want to stick to. I'm passionate about it. I love it. Okay. Just to kind of connect it, my last job, I said it was pharmaceuticals, and my new job is dealing with the pharmacy benefit manager. So I kind of just shifted my role and my viewpoint from that last company to this company. Right. Still within pharmaceuticals. Mm-hmm. This job that I have now, I see it as a stepping stone to get to my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to be a field reimbursement manager, and that's still in pharmaceuticals. Gotcha. But I actually took a chance and I spoke with a pharmaceutical sales representative, I'm getting mixed up, a field reimbursement manager. Mm-hmm. And he was just like, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do to get to the next level. You know everything, because my last job, we spoke with them. We actually were the people that told them the information that they needed to take back to the field. Right. And we can easily do the job, but that job is more so about experience. And also they want you to really have, like you said, managerial experience and also account management, because you're going to be managing a territory.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. So he was just like, this is the usual career path of somebody that comes into this. And the next step will be some type of management position. Mm-hmm. So that's where I am now. And, maybe I move up to just operations manager, and then I'll branch out into the field reimbursement manager.
Okay.
But it is something I'm passionate about. I do want to stay within pharmaceuticals. I do want to stay within healthcare.
Okay.
I just want to. I see myself in that ultimate position. That's my ultimate goal.
Gotcha. Now I feel like knowing you, like I think we kind of similar in a sense. You very ambitious. I feel like I'm very ambitious, but I'm more flamboyant ambitions. Meaning I'll start something I'm very ambitious, very excited about, and then if it kind of goes down, I'm hopping over to the next. But you are more ambitious as far as like your career, like going the trajectory in which, like you said, field manager. And I like that. I think, what you got going on is super important. I think it's good to see, Black women driven and career oriented, right? You're given a different perspective. You don't always have to be stay-at-home wife, with kids, or you don't always have to, stay below, your spouse. Like maybe your spouse, is the breadwinner, but you right below. But it's okay to achieve and say, hey, I can meet you where you at, or I can surpass you. And I think that's pretty cool and exciting in itself, just because you get that. I'm competitive, and I look at it more like I love the competition. It is not like I'm competing with you. It's just more or less like, oh, we doing our thing, and I like it that we pushing each other every step of the way. And it's like, okay, cool, you hit this, now I gotta hit this, and it's cool. I think my downfall is I always wonder, like, is enough gonna ever be enough? You know what I'm saying? Like, if
all the time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I hit this pinnacle of success, will that be enough, or will I want to go for something else? And who knows, right? But what do you say that's your passion? Why is the healthcare field passion? Like, is it something personal behind it? Like, why do you love it, or you enjoy it the way you enjoy it?
So to give a little bit of breakdown, my last job, the point of my job was access to therapy. So I really helped patients that could not afford their medications or could not afford therapy get access to those medications, whether it was through patient assistance programs or any type of government foundations. And a lot of people do not know about those foundations. That's not something that is given to us on a silver platter. You really have to dig to find this information in order. And there are a lot of medications that if you don't have the money or you don't have the funds to allocate to that particular medication, you can get assistance. Okay. So that's my passion. And I definitely say that's personal. When my grandmother was alive, she had a lot of health issues. And one of her biggest health issues was she had a kidney transplant because she was on dialysis for years. Right. She had a kidney transplant, it failed. And so my mother gave her a kidney. And just seeing her, she had to take 30 medications a day to keep her alive at the minimum, not including when she had her other ailments flare up. Yeah. So seeing her struggle to pay for medication and just trying to get some type of assistance is really my driving force. Because like I said, people don't know about these programs. And I feel like, especially minorities, because let's be honest, I mean, that's definitely not something. I've never been to the doctor and somebody say, here's a pamphlet of how to pay for medication. They're just like, you're on your own. I prescribed it. You got to figure out how to get the medication. Right. That's what I want to do. And that's my main reason. And that's my last job. This job, we really focus on adherence, which is a form of making sure people can take their medication and making sure that they're taking it correctly. And that is my ultimate goal, field reimbursement manager. We go into doctors' offices and kind of facilitate how the reimbursement process, how to get reimbursed for medications, so that way that they can give patients these medications that may seem specialized or higher cost medications that sometimes doctors don't want to prescribe because they'll be left with the burden in the end.
Man, I think that's dope, man, because like you said, my grandmother, she takes a lot of medications. I can see that imagery of just popping all those, how much of a drain that is just to take, 30 something different medications a day, and just, not having the proper resources for us as Black people, minorities, to be able to know that we can afford our medication, but you just got to know the system and know how to get it. And they don't tell us that. So it's like, you know, you a hero. You know, every hero don't wear a cape, and so, you know, you're a hero in your own right to, you know, show people like, look, if you're trying to get this medication, this is how you can do it. You're not limited to, you know, just because you don't have the money, you can always, there's a way to get what you need to get, and be able to live and sustain a healthy lifestyle. And so I applaud you for that, because, you know, we need people like you that's going to challenge the system, give out the free game, and just, you know, help people live a better life. So that's super dope. Last thing, I mean, we ended off the conversation. I think it's been great just getting the insight. I didn't really know, I knew what you did, but I didn't know the details. And I think people that, you know, healthcare, right? I've sat down with a lot of healthcare professions, and I think the different variations of healthcare is amazing. Like, you can go in so many different directions, and it's like, wow, like, I didn't know I could help here, or I could, you know, dibble and dabble in this arena. So what do you like to do for fun?
For fun,
Yeah,
me and my husband and my kids, we try new restaurants. That's our thing. I will spend some money on some food, okay?
Yeah, that's crazy.
We're going out to eat later on today.
That's crazy. Man, listen, I only spend money on special occasions, man. I can't do, and everybody got their vices, right? So, like, for me, I spend money on shoes, clothes, I'm trying to think, gadgets. I love gadgets, so any type of electronic. But when people talk about, oh, we spending money on food, I be like, for what? Like, you gonna spend $200 and it's only gonna last you for an hour, 2 hours. Now you just wasted $200. Then I gotta go spend another $40 because you got a family, so you spend about 40, 45 every meal. Now I gotta go spend another 45 just to go fill myself back up. When I could have took that $200 and we could have ate all day.
No, it's the experience. It's the ambiance. It's everything when you go to a restaurant, like, you know, different restaurants. I mean, I don't know, just us.
Hey, it's all good. Everybody got.
You know how we do. You know we'll drop some money on some food.
Oh yeah, I know. When Denzel got that steak, I said, God damn. Yeah, that tomahawk. Hey, that tomahawk was big. I said, God, that's a big boy meal right there.
He didn't want to give nobody none. That was my, like, come on now.
And what's crazy, Denzel he ain't no big dude, so it's like, I didn't even know he could eat like that. You know what I'm saying?
He can eat, yeah.
Yeah, like, buddy can eat. I said, yeah, he got it. I'm gonna leave that alone. But that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Tree, man, I want to thank. Oh yeah. Love it. So, man, Tree, I want to say thank you so much for just giving me the opportunity to sit down with you. I know sometimes people can be a little, you know, skeptical about getting on camera and just talking about what they do, but I appreciate you taking time out your Saturday to sit down and chat with me. I wish nothing but success for you guys. We love you over here, and we want you guys to continue to do great things, be great. Even when life does get hard, just know you got friends and family over here that's willing to support and really help any way we can. And hopefully, you know, once you get into that, you know, that end goal position, we can sit down again and talk about it, just so you can give us an insight on, like, you know, is it what you thought it would be, right? Is it the career that you always wanted? And so I hope you can give us that opportunity. But Tree, thank you. The last thing, yeah, anytime. The last thing is we need a recommendation, right? So this is how we continue to grow the network. I need one person, or, you know, it could be one or two people that you feel like that fit the mold to the podcast. Somebody that, you know, you feel is super dope. They're doing something very different. Not a lot of people are doing it, and probably not a lot of people have heard of it. But just give us some recommendations, and then all I ask is that you text them and say, hey, I gave this guy Armand your number. He'll probably reach out asking you about the podcast. He's legit. No worries, no scam or nothing like that. You know how people get, you know. So I'll be like, no scam, no nothing. Just reach out and just ask if you would want to be a part of the show, and you can say yes or no. So who you got for me?
I definitely think you should sit down with Denzel. I think he does something. He got a long title. I can't even tell you what it is. But he just got hired with a new company too, and it's a super new company. I think he would be really good. And then also one of my best friends, Shakira.
Okay.
Buxton. She works for the government. She just got a new position not too long ago. She is an ambassador for the United States. So it's really cool because she'll get to move from different countries and live in different countries each year or every couple of years. And she'll be working at the embassy in those different countries. I don't want to go into it because I really don't want to do a disservice. I'm not sure exactly, but like that's cool to me. So I think you should reach out to her. Okay. I think she would be.
Got you. I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna see if Denzel will get on here. I was gonna ask Denzel. I just didn't know if he was like camera shy or he was like, because I didn't know if he was wanting to step out, and do it. But I'll ask him if he want to do it. We can do it. And then I'll definitely reach out to Shakira as well too, man. I think those two people would be super great to sit down with, and just really get some information and get some insight. So, Tree, I'm gonna let you go. Y'all enjoy y'all's meal. Don't spend too much money. I'm telling you, you're gonna be hungry. You're gonna be. Hey, but nah, y'all have a good one. I love y'all. Y'all be safe. And I'll talk to you.
All right. Y'all have a good day. Love y'all.
Peace.
Bye.